take up a bunch of different skills. It doesn't hurt you to learn things on your off time. Like, you're doing that in college or high school anyway. Like, so why not take up things on your off time or on your downtime that you find interesting? Yo, we back with another video. This one is by GaryVee, and I feel like it's important for us to have this kind of conversation because we as men specifically don't talk about this enough. And yeah, I want to bring some light to it, man. So let's get into it.
If you're 22, 18, 25, 30, and you think you should have your whole life figured out, that's ludicrous. When you're this young, the number one thing you should do is the most high-risk behavior of your life. This is exactly when you should go live in Bali for a year. This is exactly when you try to become Beyonce. The biggest thing I want for everybody is to do random shit. Go skateboard, go cook, go try flip life, go fucking put out a fucking song. Like, I don't fucking know, like taste shit. It's no different than kissing a bunch of frogs until you find your prince. Normally, the people that will cast judgment on someone who's still trying to explore are people who themselves settled without exploring. These are your parents, these are your best friends, these are your siblings. They're not intending to be mean, tear you down, stop you, conform you into settling like they did, but that's exactly what they're doing. Society is incredibly subconsciously interested in you conforming. Don't.
Listen, man, GaryVee is a gem of a human being. I feel like he always drops all of this knowledge. Like, I feel like he's a very wise individual. I mean, he thinks a lot differently than many people. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this video specifically is because when I look at my demographics and just the insights and the amount of people that follow me, most of the people that follow me are between the ages of 25 and 34. And I want y'all to know, like, yo, y'all are young.
We're not too old for this.
Like, 25 to 34 is very young, bro. You don't have to have it all figured out. I know that's what society tells you as a black man, that if you're in your 20s, like, you know, later 20s, if you're in your early 30s, even your later 30s, that you're supposed to have everything figured out. You're supposed to have your whole life planned, right? And it's like, bro, that's not how life goes, man. Like, that's not how life goes.
You know that ain't right.
And when you're young, I think it's important for you to try out a bunch of different things. That's what I did, bro. Like, that's how I got to Express Yourself Black Man, was by trying out a bunch of different things and not settling and not listening to people when they projected their insecurities on what it was that I was doing, man. Like, because what happens is when you start doing a bunch of different things that isn't in the norm of what people expect you to be doing at your age, people start projecting.
True that.
Like, we all know that one person that has like gone out and started their own business or whatever the case may be. Maybe that's even you, right? And like, a lot of times when you talk about what it is that you're trying to do and where you envision yourself to be, people will start projecting and they'll start trying to bring you down. And it's not, a lot of times it's not really even conscious. It's just subconscious. Like, it's people's projections and their insecurities and what they think they can't do, which is why they reflect it on you, because they assume that you can't do it as well just because they can't do it. They assume that because they didn't step out on faith, that when you step out on faith that you'll be unsuccessful. But it's like, bro, just because you weren't able to achieve something or just because you didn't want to take that chance doesn't mean that I shouldn't or that I can't. You get what I'm saying? So we got to stop listening to people that haven't been in the position that we're in, that are trying to give us advice about how to get to where we want to be.
You don't listen.
I hope y'all get that, man. Like, a lot of people will try to tell you, like, yo, bro, you should do this. And it's like, bro, I don't want to be nothing like you, bro. No offense, but it's like, bro, I don't want to be anything like you, bro. To be honest, I really had to stop listening to people. Yo, bro, do this, do that. Like, bro, like,
nah, I'm good, man.
I'm good, bro. Like, I appreciate it, but I don't want to be anywhere where you're at. Like, I don't, like, nah. I'm good. I'm all the way good, bro. We got to learn to not take people's advice. And we also got to learn to stop getting unsolicited advice, but I'm gonna chill off that. We're not even gonna talk about that this video. So I just want to let y'all know, man, like, yo, try out a bunch of different things, bro. Try a bunch of different things out, bro.
Just do it.
Because when you think about it, that's what you're doing in college or high school or whatever anyway. You're learning English, you're learning history, you're learning math. You're learning all these things that they say is gonna be applicable to your real life and what you actually do after you leave school. And a lot of these things aren't really going to be necessary.
No comment. But yes.
Like, I've never once in my life used the Pythagorean theorem, but I remember struggling learning that thing in high school. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've never used that in my day-to-day life. And it's something that you had to learn. And so what I'm trying to say is like, yo, bro, instead of doing that, well, actually, you're gonna have to do that regardless if you're in school. But outside of school, take up things that you find interesting. I remember taking up graphic design by myself. And at the time, I didn't really have a reason as to why I was doing it. I was doing it because it was kind of therapeutic for me, the creative process of learning how to create things that out of nothing. But after a while, I realized that helped me to learn how to make merch. You get what I'm saying? That helped me to learn how to brand myself. That helped me to learn how to brand a business. I took up website design after that. That helped me to learn how to build a website. Now I was able to build a website for Express Yourself Black Man. So it's like these things that you learn could then be stepping stones or the foundation for the thing that you actually want to do, right? So take up a bunch of different skills. It doesn't hurt you to learn things on your off time. Like you're doing that in college or high school anyway. Like, so why not take up things on your off time or on your downtime that you find interesting? I used to never think that I was creative. Bro. Like, and then I got into Photoshop. Then I taught myself Photoshop and I learned that, yo, bro, it's not that I'm not creative. I just never tried. Like a lot of people assume that they can't do something, but they've never actually tried to do it. When I first got into college, I was taking 18 credits. I was taking like 16 to 18 credits. And my parents didn't really have enough money for, like, they had enough money to pay for tuition and stuff, but my mom was on me about not being able to afford the tuition. And after a certain amount of time, she was telling me like, yo, bro, you're gonna have to figure it out. And so when I first got into college, freshman year, I was like, yo, I gotta get a job. I don't care what anybody else is doing, I gotta get a job. And all your advisors, what they tell you is like, yo, just focus on school for the first year, get yourself in a groove. And I was like, bro, I can't afford to do that right now. I remember talking to my friends. I was like, yo, bro, I'm about to get a job. And one of my friends was like, yo, bro, how many credits you taking? I was like 16. I think I was taking 16 at the time. He was like, bro, maybe you shouldn't get a job right now. And I was like, listen, bro.
Don't tell me what to do.
If I don't get a job right now, I'll never know what I'm actually capable of doing. Like I could take these 16 credits and just assume that that's my limit. But if I get a job and I'm able to work on the job or work at the job and do the 16 credits, then I know like, okay, this is actually what my limit is, or maybe my limit is even higher than this, right? And so that's always how I've been, is just pushing the limits of what I think I'm capable of doing. So I get that job freshman year, I'm doing the 16 credits and I realize like, yo, I still have downtime outside of this. Like I still have downtime outside of this. This is not as difficult as people make it seem, right? And that's a lot of the struggle that we have mentally, is that we place these limitations based on things that we've heard or things that people tell us or things that we internally believe. And it's like, bro, you have to challenge those limitations. You have to challenge those limitations, because you'll never know what you're actually capable of doing if you don't challenge what it is that you believe about yourself.
Write that down.
So I take that job, I'm doing my job, I'm doing school full time, and I realized like, yo, I have a strong work ethic. Now I can do the 9 to 5 and Express Yourself Black Man because I've done that before in college. You get what I'm saying? So when people are like, yo, bro, you running Express Yourself Black Man with a 9 to 5, like that's wild. And you posting 3 times a day. You doing 1 YouTube video, you doing 1 podcast episode, you respond to comments, you respond to DMs. I'm like, bro, this ain't nothing new to me, bro. I've been doing this. Like I've been doing this, but I didn't start out this way. I had to figure out what my limitations were and then work on either enhancing them or just building that confidence that, okay, you can do this at a high level. And I'm trying to get y'all to understand like, bro, these are the years, these 25 to 35, 34, whatever, however old you are, these are the years for you to be building up those skills so that you can use that in other facets of your life. So I love GaryVee. I love the fact that he said this, like, you don't have to have it all figured out, but just try a bunch of different things, man. Try a bunch of different things and have some kind of plan that you're trying to follow. You don't have to have it all figured out, but have some kind of plan. Like with everything that I was doing, like even with the graphic design, it was a therapeutic process for me. But in my mind, I was like, okay, I'm gonna use this to do something at some point in time. And even if that's not the thing that I want to do for the rest of my life, I'll still have that skill. And when you think about it, that's all you're doing in college anyway. You're learning a bunch of different things that you may not use, but you may use as well. And so why not do that on your downtime? Why not spend time doing a bunch of different things that could be beneficial to you? Last thing I want to say, man, before we get off this video is we got to stop using social media as a Venn diagram, man. Like,
enough.
It's not healthy and it's not fair to you or the person or whoever it is that you're comparing yourself to, man. Like, we get on social media and we scroll through, and a lot of the times we make this Venn diagram in our heads where it's like one side is you, the other side is the person, and all you're doing is comparing what you don't have that person does have, right? And it's not healthy because it robs you of being present in your own life. And a lot of what we talked about in this video, where I'm talking about investing time into learning a bunch of different skills, into things that you're passionate about, like, you're robbing yourself of that time and that passion when you get on social media and you compare yourself to other people, right? Like, I know it's easier said than done because I even struggle with it. But what I always tell people is like, yo, if you're getting on social media and you feel like there's always this one person or this one account or these few people that you're comparing yourself to, there's nothing wrong with unfollowing them. There's nothing wrong with blocking them. There's nothing wrong with muting them. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Like, a lot of times people would say, yo, man, like, you a hater. That's crazy. You hating. It's like, bro, we all hate. I don't want to hear nothing from anybody, man. We all hate on people, bro. We all hate on people, whether it's purposely or inadvertently. We all do it in some way, shape, or form. I know I get on social media and I scroll through and I'm like, damn, bro doing that? That's crazy, man. Like, man, I wish I was there. I'm not hating on him like specifically, but I'm hating in a sense. You get what I'm saying? Like, and I'm just being real. We all do it. So it's like, there's nothing wrong with doing it, but just understand when you're doing it and why you're doing it. And then maybe distance yourself from that person. There's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Until you can get to a point where you can be, you know, seeing their posts and not feel a certain type of way, bro. Like, because we all want to be in a better position. And sometimes when we see other people in a position that we feel like is better than where we're at, we feel some type of way. We feel salty. You get what I'm saying? Like, and there's nothing wrong with feeling salty because you wish you were somewhere that somebody is at. So like, I'm just trying to say like, yo, don't feel bad. Don't be upset at yourself for not being there. It is okay. You are on your own path. You're on your own journey and you will get to where you need to get to when you need to get there. Until then, focus on the end goal, man. Focus on the end goal, whatever that looks like for you. So please, like I said, subscribe to the YouTube, follow us on Instagram, drop your comments, let me know how y'all feel about this video. If y'all have any questions, any concerns, whatever the case may be, send me a DM. I'm here as a resource, bro. I'm here as a resource. I do respond to my DMs. And with that being said, black man, it's okay to not be okay because it is. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.
Sometimes I know you feel like you ain't got nobody to speak to. A shoulder to lean on somebody you could preach to. No, you need to hear it, my brother, I love you. We got way too much to live for. We got way too